All right, guys, so this is going to be our prefix and suffix lesson for today. I do want you to take a look at the words here on the board. Remember, our target suffix is ion. And the meaning of that is the state of, the act of, or the result of. I've got some focus words that we're going to be looking at today, and then you're going to do an activity with those focus lessons in a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and identify the suffix on each of these words, and then see if we can figure out what the base word is. So I take a look at my first word here, and I see my ion suffix. I know that says un. I'm going to look at the rest of the word, and I see that base word graduate. Graduate. Graduation. Repeat it. Good. And I know that this is going to mean the state of, the act of, or the result of, and the act of graduating would work. We might also say, I know when we graduate, we're like finishing something. So it could be the act of finishing something, or even the result of finishing something. Graduation. Go through and I see my next word. Again, I see that suffix at the end. Un. I'm looking at the base word there. And I can see the word is celebration. What word? Awesome. Let's go ahead and move on. The next one, I've got my suffix un. I'm looking at that base word. This might be a word that you're not familiar with. So I'm going to go ahead and spot my vowels. I know that the A before this is going to be long. It's going to have that ninja E that went away. I'm going to try closing in. Nav. Ig. Navigation. Navigation. What word? Navigation. Good. On our next word, I again spot my suffix. My target word has that target suffix of un. Looking at that base word. I need to spot my vowels. I can. 3 consonants in a row. I know this first one is going to say The second one, that A will always be long. A. Frustration. What word? Frustration. And that would be frustrate as my base word. I could say something like the result of bothering somebody. The result of frustrating somebody. Frustration. The next word. Same suffix. I've got my ion. State of, act of, or result of. I see the word float. And then I know that that suffix ate, but we know we don't say floatate. Float would be my base word, float. The result of floating is flotation. The result of floating is flotation. Keyword from the other day. I know my suffix. Turn and whisper to your partner. What was the base word? All right, what was our base word? Circulate. The result of, or the act of, circulating. We also said that we know circulating is making a circle. So it could be the act of making a circle. Circulation, what word? Circulation. All right, next word here. I have my suffix ion. If I need to spot and dot, I can. This I, generally in a multisyllabic word like this, if we have an I, it's going to be an I, a schwa sound. Open. Position. What word? Position. What's the base word in this? What do you think the base word in this could be? Position. Turn and talk to your neighbor. What's the base word for position? Three, two, one. The base word is pose. So position would be the state of being posed. The state of being posed. I'm posed. It's my position. Next one, of course, spotting my target suffix, un, base word, disrupt. This one also has a prefix. We know it is dis, but I know the word disrupt. I know the word disrupt. And so I could say the base here is disrupt and my suffix un, and it is the result of disrupting, the result of interrupting, the result of being a problem. Any of those would work for disruption. The next one, I know my target suffix again, un. I can look and I see inter. We've talked about that as a prefix, interrupt. Both of these have the same root, rupt. They go back to the same word origin. And this one would be interruption. What word? Interruption. Good. Next one, I've got ION. Now this one's a little tricky, but I've got that long A. I know that's 8. Then I have to figure it out. Is this sit? Sit-ation. Sit-ation. That doesn't sound right here in this first syllable. I just flexed the vowel. It wasn't I. My only other option is I. Citation. Ooh, that would cause me to divide here. Look here. Well, not necessarily. I'll tell you why in a minute, but I could divide here and say citation. But actually this word, if you think about the base that it might go back to, it goes back to this word, cite. Cite, I don't know if you can even see that. Let me write it a little bigger. Cite. And you drop that ninja E. When you add 8 on, citation. Citation. And citing has to do with like writing down. Citing your sources means to write your sources down. And a citation is like a written warning. You might get a citation from a police officer, a written warning for speeding, kind of that first warning. It's a citation. We talked about, well, maybe we haven't talked about this word. I don't remember. ION again. I see an X. 8, I know 8. No, exhalation, exhalation. The result of exhaling is exhalation. The last one there, we've got on again. Got my 8, ninja E, and con. I know to you together says congratulation. 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 Let's practice reading through our words one time, sitting up nice and straight. Eyes are on the board. Out loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Graduation, celebration, navigation, frustration, flotation, circulation, position, disruption, interruption, citation, exhalation, congratulation. All right, those are all of our target words using our target suffix. Now, let's talk about our activity, because our main goal is to create meaning for this target word. And I'm going to move you around with me here. So I apologize for the dizziness this might cause, but I'm going to show you what you and your partner are going to work on next. So let me share my view so you can see my lexicon. I want you to go ahead and get your lexicon out. And you're going to go underneath the page. The other day on day 1, we wrote down our definition and some examples. We're actually going to go underneath that. So now I can share my screen. I appreciate your patience. All right, so let's go ahead and get that lexicon out, and you're going to do just a little bit with me, and then I'll send you on your way with your partner. Open up your lexicon to this page here, where you have this at the top and nothing underneath it. And remember, I need you, number 1, with me, and number 2, doing exactly as I do so you can fit everything on that you need to fit. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a nice solid straight line across the middle to separate our activities. Draw that line.
All right, next up, we are going to give this a title, and we're going to be making word sums today. So you can skip a line right from that bold-faced line that you just made, and you're going to write word sums, because we are going to write word sums. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you here. And then you are going to choose from 4 keywords. And you're going to see I have this posted on Google Classroom for you, the words that you can choose from. We just looked at 12 keywords, and you're going to choose 4. Any 4 that you want. We're going to do one together actually today. So you'll be choosing your own. Choose from 4 keywords. All right, if you need to press pause, go ahead and press pause. Otherwise, let's go. So I chose the word graduation. Let me pull up the list that we were just looking at. Okay, so this was our list, and I went ahead and just picked the first word right here. And I need to use that word, break it down into our word sum. We know that that means like the math equation for words. And I've done that. So let's take a look. I'm going to put a 1 on the outside of my red line. This is my first one. I have to do 4. And I broke it down. My base that has meaning for me was graduate. So I wrote the word graduate. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line through that E, because I know that that E is going to drop off with a vowel suffix. Plus, little plus sign, I-O-N, un, equals my word, graduation. Remember your sound spelling, graduation, graduation. All right, press pause if you need. The next step is to create a definition for this word using the definition of the suffix. And this is really tricky. I don't want it just a student-friendly definition of what you know a graduation is. We are using our definition from above, the act of, the state of, or the result of, and our base word graduate to create a definition. So here's what I did. The act of graduating, and then in parentheses, I added finishing school. It is the act of doing it. Go ahead and get that written in. Go ahead and press pause if you need some time to write that. The next step, you are going to be working with a partner, and your goal is to do 3 more word sums. I want you to skip lines between each of these. So I want you to notice I've skipped a line here, and I've put my number 2 on the outside. And then I skip a line and I put my 3, and actually I can just show you mine. This is what an end result would look like. Okay, skip a line, word sum, definition. Skip a line, word sum, definition. Skip a line, word sum, definition. You're going to do this for 3 more. You will find these keywords posted on Google Classroom. And if you need help, you have Miss Danny, Miss Reynolds, and the sub to help you out. All right. Good luck.